We as a city have 600-kilometre stretch of rivers and waterways, but there's been decades of neglect and pollution. It's led to local communities having access to blue spaces like this, but also it's led to the habitats being damaged so there's less wildlife. And so, look, when I first ran to be mayor in 2016, I was told it would take 200 years, almost 200 years, to clean up the area in London. We did it in 9. What we've set out to do with this plan is to reverse the decline in our rivers, but also work with other partners, 50 organisations, to reduce pollution, revive nature, and to revitalise and restore access for local communities. And Thames Water, who are responsible to a large extent to the sewage discharge, the misconnections in pipes in homes and so forth, are going to be partners in this endeavour. They're investing £1.8 billion in our plans. The regulator of what is involved as well. And so even though we haven't got statutory powers, we don't own a lot of these assets, working with these great organisations and partners, we're going to get there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, it mentioned in the plan that 1.8 billion will come from partners, obviously including people like Thames Water. So are they contributing all of that, and do you think that's kind of almost a perpetrator or polluter pays principle in effect with this?
Well, I think it's Thames Water recognising the consequences of their inaction and their neglect. I think in 23 we had 5 times as much sewage discharged in 2022. That's unacceptable. We've got these misconnections in people's plumbing, which means sewers going into rivers. That can't be right. And so Thames Water have done a couple of things which I support. One is investing in cleaning up out rivers and waterways, but also the Thames Tideway Tunnel is a remarkable feat of engineering. It will take away around 95% of the storm overflow that goes into our sewers, which is really important. And hopefully that will lead to less sewage discharge. But they've got to recognise one of the reasons we're having to clean up our rivers, revive nature, is because of their actions over the previous decades. I'm pleased that they've been round the table working really collegiately with us over the last year to come up with this Clean Rivers and Waterways plan.
Right, in 2024, you made quite a bold promise that at least some parts of the Thames will be swimmable by 2034. We're still on track for that. Is this plan part of that? And can Londoners look forward to having a dip within a few years in the Thames?
One of the oldest tricks in the book for politicians is to set out a 15-20 year plan where you're supposed to see the fruit in 15-20 years' time. But that's not me. So what we've done is, in addition to the action plan today with the 48 themes, 48 actions, 17 themes, we've released another £2.77 million, listed 10 locations where over the next couple of years you'll see massive improvements, transformative improvement, from safer places to swim. Some of the 10 are for safer swimming, to improve wildlife, to improving connections, to improving accessibility for local residents. The 3 parts of our plan are to reduce pollution, revive nature, and to revitalise and restore access for local communities to blue and green spaces. And Londoners will see evidence of that behind me. Behind me, we invested £700,000 to upgrade this fantastic facility. There's a great new cafe, a new bridge connecting the local estate, improved wildlife, but also local children swimming, sailing and kayaking. We want more of this across London.
Great. And one thing, obviously, cleaning up rivers. Second thing, sort of keeping them clean. Is there a planned sort of litter crackdown working with local authorities? And I'm thinking about, for example, one of the canals mentioned is the Grand Union Canal, my local canal. Canal and River Trust don't have that sort of enforcement resources to do that, and you see people sort of dumping and littering all the time. How are you planning to work with authorities to have that litter crackdown and make sure the rivers stay clean?
A great question. So it's one of the things we've done, and one of the 10 locations will make you very happy, we've set out today, is if you look at the reasons why we've had the neglect and pollution, a lot of it is our behaviour as human beings. We've de-wilded our city. We've also not behaved as good custodians of these rivers and tributaries. We have 41 in London, as I said, a 600-kilometre stretch. We've got to rewire our own brains in terms of thinking about these blue spaces, like we did about green spaces as well. I'm really proud that London was the first global city to be a national park city. That brought with it responsibilities. We've invested a huge sum of money in improving what's called green infrastructure. We need to do the same with blue infrastructure. And here's the beauty of our plan today. By allowing and encouraging and making it easy for local residents to access this blue space, they have a sense of ownership. It's their blue space, which means they'll look after it more. We've got to think about good design, making sure there are bins available, making sure there are benches available, making sure there is signage available, make sure there's access available. And I think it's a win-win, because it means that Londoners get to enjoy these great assets, but they take responsibility for the assets as well. Councils like Hackney have been great working with us. They deserve credit. Other councils have been good as well across London. And that's why these these 10 locations are evenly spread, different councils, different community organisations, but the lead partner in charge of each action is different. It's not all City Hall, it's not all councils, and that will mean that each of us can hold each other to account. And those checks and balances are really important.